So I hope you enjoyed the little GoPro Hero 11 sequence I shot with the clips I'll be shooting with you today. I'm going to walk/ride around a few places, film with the GoPro Hero 11 and share with you everything I do, including how I expose, compose, white balance and move the camera. Alright, so I think this is going to be the first place where I'm going to shoot with the GoPro. So let's start. I think for this I'm gonna go for slow motion. So I'm gonna do 5.3K 50p, and for the white balance I'm gonna set it to 5000 Kelvin because it's a cloudy day. Field of view linear, and now I'm going to expose here for the highlights because everything is evenly lit. Let me actually start recording so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to expose for the highlights, and I'm going to overexpose with EV compensation by, let's see, like half a stop. And now I'm gonna take my shot and I'm gonna do like a reveal dolly shot. So basically I'm going to point the camera up and walk while putting the camera down. I mean tilting the camera down. 3, 2, 1, go. Wasn't a good one. Let's do it again. 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa. All right, I'm happy with this one. Let's continue to the next location. All right, so this is the second location, an abandoned building or something like that, but I like these wood things, whatever you want to call it. And again, I think I'm going to point the camera up, shoot in slow motion just to emphasize the movement, but this time I'm just going to hold it up and move with the camera like this. And I'm going to expose for the highlights this time, and I'm going to underexpose by, let's see, 1 stop, maybe even 1.5 stops. And I'm just going to move with the camera, and maybe also I'm going to slightly tilt it upwards, but just a little bit. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, another one. All right, so now I'm gonna take a shot of my girlfriend walking from here to here, then stopping and just looking around. So this is how I'm going to do this. First, I'm going to set the white balance to daylight. I'm gonna shoot in slow motion just to emphasize the movement. And I'm also going to expose for the highlights because she's going to step into the highlights in the end. The movement that I'm going to do is basically I'm going to follow her and slightly move like in a circular movement, motion, whatever you want to call it. And I want to keep mainly her head and maybe a bit of her body in the frame, not everything completely. Let's see how it goes. I'm gonna press the record button. This is what the GoPro sees now. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, this looks good. I think I need to be a bit closer to her. 3, 2, 1, go. I think this place looks pretty nice. So I think what I'm going to do here is basically point the camera up, slowly reveal her walking in the middle of this thingamajig or whatever you want to call it. So first of all, white balance set to daylight. I'm also going to film in slow motion just to emphasize the movement, and I'm going to expose for the highlights, and I think I'm going to underexpose by half a stop with EV compensation. Lock the exposure. Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's do it again. Gonna come a bit closer to her. Honey lemon soda. Cheers. What is this?
Pink milk.
Pink milk. Wow. This is terrible. Anyhow, one thing that I forgot to talk about in this video is lighting, which is one of the most important things to consider if you want to get cinematic results with any camera. And unfortunately, the lighting today is not the best. In the morning, it was very cloudy and rainy, as you saw in the beginning of the video. And now we have very harsh sun with harsh lighting, which is not the best if you want to get cinematic results. So as I always say, if you want to get the best shots, shoot as close as possible to sunrise and sunset, because that's when you get the most beautiful light and also the most beautiful and complementing colors. But regardless, we're gonna still ride around the motorbike here, get some cool GoPro shots, because sometimes you don't have a choice. You don't have the time or whatever to wait for sunset or sunrise. But if you do have the time, I highly recommend to shoot as close as possible to sunset and sunrise. So you ready to get some extra shots under the sun?
Yes.
And sweat? Alright, so we're gonna climb all these stairs and get some shots. I think I'm gonna do like a Meti Hapoya sequence in here. I'm gonna have my girlfriend walking up the stairs, get a shot of her shoes, then like a wide angle shot, and then like a close-up shot. All right, so I'm gonna film in 5.3K 50p for slow motion, again to emphasize the movement, and I'm going to expose for the sky, for the highlights. So I'm gonna expose here, and I think with the EV compensation, I'm going to underexpose by half a stop. I don't see anything on the back screen, by the way, so I hope it looks good. Let's come a bit closer to the shoe. All right, again, the same thing. And I'm gonna get like a close-up shot. All right, so now I think I'm gonna take a shot of the Buddha thing here, and this time I'm gonna shoot in 25 frames per second because I don't want to do any slow motion, and I'm going to expose for the sky with EV compensation sitting at -0.5, and I'm just gonna walk towards the Buddha. So 3, 2, 1. Maybe I'm also going to move the camera a bit up slightly while I'm moving. Let's do it again. 3, 2, 1. Wow, it's so hot today. Look at me. I'm dripping of sweat. So hot. I think I chose the worst day to shoot this video, but whatever. Cheers. All right, so now I'm gonna take a shot of her looking at this beautiful lake and view. And again, I think I'm going to do like a backwards dolly shot. This is the trickiest situation to film in because you have to decide whether you're going to expose for the sky highlights or you're going to expose for the shadows. I think for the most part, if you want to make your shots look more cinematic, it's best to expose for the highlights, but slightly elevate the shadows just to get some detail on the subject. So I'm going to expose here for the highlights, and I'm going to overexpose with EV compensation by like half a stop because I want to get some details in the shadow. Let's get the shot. I think I'm gonna go for this movement like this. All right, 3, 2, 1. Another one, just so I'll have options. 3, 2, 1. All right, so I think this is going to be the last location of the video for today. I'm gonna film in slow motion and I'm going to expose for the sky, and I think I'm also going to underexpose by half a stop, and I'm going to do this kind of a movement. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's do another one. Okay, for the next shot, I'm going to have my girlfriend walking in the middle of the frame, and I'm going to film in 25p because I don't think slow motion is necessary in this case. So the framing is going to look something like this, and I'm going to expose for the highlights. And I think also I'm going to underexpose by half a stop because it's very bright. 3, 2, 1, go. Wow, this looks good. Let's do another one. All right, this is going to be the last clip for today. I'm gonna have my girlfriend walking towards me, and I'm gonna have the camera here. I'm gonna walk backwards, and she's gonna walk here, then gonna walk inside here, stop here somewhere, and just look at the beautiful view. I'm gonna shoot in 25 frames per second and linear field of view. First, let's expose for the highlights. I'm gonna expose for the sky, and I think I'm going to also underexpose by one stop because it is very bright at the moment. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's do now a bit more close. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I think this one is better.